afternoon, class. We will wait for your classmates to come in our Zoom meeting, and then we will start our discussion. Okay. Okay, class. Good afternoon, grade 11 Dalton. We're about to start our ayan, sorry. So we will start our discussion. Ayan. Ay, sorry. Ayan, medyo clear ba? Kasi may mga papansin na kapitbahay bago pa nagagawa ng bahay nila. Okay. So, I hope that I guess that some of your classmates or even you have read your module for week 4, and ayun, I see that our module is quite what's this comprehensive to be discussed in 1 week. So I decided to divide that into 2 parts. So later on we will discover which of the topics are discussed for this week. But anyway, I want you to see the table or the graph of our result for our following exam in general mathematics. So shown in your screen is our first validating exam in general mathematics. Now, I would like to um, ask what can you see or what can you say about our graph? Okay, so based on our graph, what can you say about the results of the grade 11 students in their first validating exam in general mathematics? Any volunteer?
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
sir,
Yes.
it is the points scored by certain number of students, sir.
So yes, so that's the score. Actually, that's the score of the students, or you, including you, and all of the grade 11 students in general mathematics. So math based on the table, what can you say with the scores, with the yeah, with the scores, yon.
Sir,
Sige, sino muna? Sige, Ana, sige.
Sir, majority ng student nakakuha ng 11 or between 10 to 12 scores.
Okay. So actually that's one good observation. Why did I ask you to describe or to say something about our bar graph? Because I want to check and I want to see who among the students know how to interpret a certain table or a certain chart or even a graph. Okay. So I I just ask kasi most of the people ngayon don't know how to interpret a bar graph kasi. And if I'm not mistaken, this topic is taught during elementary. As far as I remember, when I teach elementary before, way back 3 years ago, this is a grade 5 lesson. Ayan. So kaya titanong ko. And I guess that you already discussed din in your junior high school math. Ay, mahangin sa akin. Sorry. Wait lang. Ayan, sa akin kasi nakatutok ng electric fan. Anyway, ayan, I hope that my voice or my register is now improved. Ayan. So, ayan po. Okay, yun nga. As I'm saying, tinuro to siya before and I just want to check if you know how to interpret a table. Okay? So yun po. As Anna have mentioned earlier, based on the graph or the bar graph, most students got high scores. So from 10 to 13 and or 12 and so. Okay? So yun po. Concentrated siya sa high scores. So ayan. So ayan po. Next naman po is our second validating exam in general mathematics. So ito. So what can you say about our bar graph? Ayan. Anyone from the class?
Sir,
Okay. Yes po.
majority po ng students nakakuha ng 14 score.
Okay, so yun, tama yun siya. So most of the students got a score of 14. So ayun nga, explain natin na isa-isa. O, paano nangyari yun, sir? Um, yung bar kasi po, siya yun, kung ano yung height ng bar, yun yung titignan na natin, okay? That corresponds to the number of respondents or students who got that score. So dito, kung papansinin niyo class, if we were going to compare, mataas yung bar sa number 4, sa 14. Okay? Kasi as labeled, yung mga numbers sa baba are the scores, points scored. Yung sa gilid is number of respondents. Yung number ng students na nag-take ng exam. So, ayun nga, the bar graph, yun, concentrated sa high scores again. And anong mapapansin nyo sa ating bar graph? Di ba parang pataas siya. So may trend siya. Okay, so pataas yung trend niya. So increasing. So as the scores go higher, ayan, yung scores natin ay pataas din. Dumadami yung nakakakuha ng mataas na score. And looking at this graph, may mga implications. Maaaring madali yung exam or maaaring talagang natuto lang kayo ng maayos or what and so. Okay? So, yan siya. Next naman is ito. How about this one? This is your result in your diagnostic test. So, if I'm not mistaken, you took this when we have a simulation before. 'Di ba? Yung hindi pa nag-start yung classes. So, ito po yung ating bar graph for that. Anong mapapansin natin? Yung ating bar graph seems the result seems to be concentrated at the middle part of our graph. So marami nakakuha ng 7, 8, and 9. The rest, yung mga extreme scores or yung mga dulo-dulo na scores ay konti lang yung nakakuha. So yung 12 pataas yung 12 pataas medyo konti lang nakakuha. Tapos yung 4 pababa, 12 ang nakakuha and so. Okay? So yun po. Okay. So yun po. Ngayon po, ito naman. As you can see, the diagnostic test in general mathematics is quite similar to this graph. So we have here a line graph naman. So this is an IQ score distribution. Sige, way back to our diagnostic test, bakit kaya walang masyadong nakakuha sa high scores? Sige. Bakit kaya?
Sir,
Sige. Yes po.
paano kasi sir, para pong nagda-diagnose pa lang, parang wala pa masyadong knowledge yung mga students. Parang yung mga scores nila nakadepend lang sa kanilang yung mga naalalaman nila. Stock knowledge.
Okay. Yun nga. Kasi yung mga topics or yung mga items na nilagay doon sa diagnostic test is not really you haven't learned that much pa because we will just check if how knowledgeable you are with regards to our subject. Kaya kung papansinin nyo, yung gitna is concentrated, 'di ba? And nagkakaroon kasi tayo ng connotation that if a certain factor if many people or majority of the group of the people will have that factor, parang dapat that factor is meron din kayo. Okay? Parang ganon. 'Di ba? And then if you deviated from that factor, it's either you exceeded that factor or you mishit that factor. Okay, to further discuss that, ayan, we have here an IQ distribution. IQ score distribution. IQ stands for the intelligence quotient. And we have different ways to check in what level of IQ do a person have. May mga iba't iba tayong factors dyan. Ngayon, generally, this is how an IQ is distributed supposedly in a set of people. As you can see in the middle, di ba, mas concentrated yung scores natin dito. Katulad sa sinabi ko, as similar to bar graph, the height of a certain point corresponds to the frequency. Kung gaano karami yung may ganong IQ in this graph. Okay? So, 100 po yung nasa center. Let's assume. Okay? Yan po kasi yung IQ. The normal IQ of a person ranges from it's either 90 to 100 to 85 to 115, or di ko kasi sure, walang exact talaga eh, pero ang marami nagsasabi na it's from 85 to 115 or from 80 to 120. Pero in this table, parang it's 85 to 115. Okay? Ngayon po, pag may ganun ba tayong IQ, ibig sabihin, anong sabi? 'Di ba? Parang sabi natin, okay, pag may ganito akong IQ, ibig sabihin average lang ako. 'Di ba? Ngayon, like, sige, let's assume na ang average person has an IQ of 85 to 115. Ngayon, kunwari someone that you know has an IQ, let's say, of 150 or 140, let's say. Mako-consider pa ba natin siyang average? Okay, clear po ba yung question? Ulitin ko ha. Kunwari, the average person has an IQ of 85 to 115. And then you know someone that has an IQ of 140. Sige, 140 to be exact. Can we consider that person as an average, average person? Or, yeah, yun nga. Or anong masasabi natin sa tao na may IQ na 140? Sige, Rahina.
Sir, above average na po para siya. Kasi di ba sinasabi mo 80 to 1 natin average. So lang po siya.
Okay, so above average. Thank you, Regina. Rahina. That person is above average already. And hindi na natin siya mako-consider as average, di ba? Parang usually pag may ganun na yung IQ, nalalaman natin na ganun yung IQ niya, di ba? Ang sabihin natin minsan, yung talino siguro, di ba? May mga ganun. Okay, sige. Based on our table, ito nga, dito nagre-range yung mga average people or yung average people talaga. Yung IQ ng average people nga. Yon. The average IQ of a person falls under this table. Ngayon, kapag napunta na siya sa 130, 140, kinakategorize na natin siya as, yun nga, as something that has, or a person who is mentally blessed. Dito na pumapasok yung mga geniuses, ganun. Genius na sila, ano pa ba sila? May mga term I forgot eh. Yun, yung genius. 'Di ba? Rizal has an IQ more than one that is above average. Even Einstein, yung mga tao na matataas yung IQ. Okay, on the other hand, kapag ang IQ mo is lower than 85, ayan, these people are or has mental conditions na nga. So, this kapag may IQ ka more probably ng 85, dito na pumapasok yung mga hindi man siya autism, not necessary. Yung mga mental retardation, ayun. Kaya pag minsan 'di ba, ito pa pala, if we address people with their with their disability, we should address the people first before the disability. So hindi natin sinasabing autistic children or autistic child. Hindi natin sinasabi as cancer patients or retarded people. Hindi natin siya sinasabi as ganon. Sinasabi natin yon supposedly as people with mental retardation, children with autism, saka someone who has cancer. Hindi sinasabi agad yung sakit. Okay? That is people's first language nga yung sinasabi. And that is academically correct. I mean, yun yung dapat na ginagamit. Okay? So, yun. Kasi, di ba, we should address that they are also people and not because they are judged based on their disability. Di ba? Kaya nga PWD, people with people with disability. Di ba? Yun. Hindi disabled person or disabled people. Yun siya. Okay? Yun, balik tayo. Ngayon, class, kapag someone if anyone is mentally blessed or mentally challenged, yun yung term, hindi na natin sila kino-considered as normal. Why? Ba't nga ba natin hindi na sila kino-considered as normal? Anyone from the class? Bakit hindi na natin kino-consider yung mga genius? Ba't di natin kino-consider yung mga people with autism or people with mental retardation?
Sir.
Yes, Kenneth.
Sir, kasi po sir sa ibang kategory na sila at bago sir, sir. Di
Tama.
na siya sa sa normal statistics. Nasa na siya sobra genius, bago kulang may sakit.
Bakit nga? Bakit nga? Sige. Sige, Darwin. Ay, nawala na siya. Ay. Yes, Ana.
Sir, mas madami pong tao ang nasa average na IQ kaysa sa mga genius and kakulang.
Okay. Statistically speaking, mas marami kasing tao yung nasa average lang compared to those people who have high IQ and low IQ. That's the reason why this kind of distribution is called normal distribution. Okay? Bakit normal distribution? Kasi statistically speaking, mas marami yung nasa gitna, nasa in-between. Mas marami yung average and konti lang yung mga nasa extreme scores or extreme numbers. Okay? And as a score goes extremely low or extremely high, paliit ng paliit yung number of people. Kaya dito class, 'di ba? Let's take for example in the Philippines, yung height ng mga Filipino. 'Di ba? Yung height natin halos level-level lang halos, 'di ba? Kapag medyo maliit yung isang tao or medyo matangkad yung isang tao, madali silang mapansin. Bakit? Kasi nga hindi ganon ka-normal yung height na may ganon. Hindi ba? Sige, palitan natin. Parang masyado tayong nagiging parang body shaming, pero hindi naman. That's one best example lang. Bakit masyadong mapansin, di ba? Bakit sa Philippines madaling mapansin yung mga mapuputi? Kasi nga, because we are in a tropical country, iba yung tama ng araw sa atin. Most of us has brown skin. And rare lang sa atin talaga yung super puti. Right? 'Di ba? Pansinin talaga. Even din yung super dark. Madali silang mapansin kasi most people have fair, not really fair, but has brown complexion. Filipino complexion. Iba kasi 'di ba talaga yung kulay ng Filipino. Ngayon, kaya siya tinawag na normal distribution kasi we tend to look on the greater number. And as the number or as the score increases or decreases into its most extreme values, pakonti rin na pakonti yung frequency or yung dami na may ganong number. Okay. Now, since we are talking about the word normal, how would we define normal? Sige nga. Sige, I'll call someone to define normal. Or kahit na lang, how can you consider yourself as normal? Sino kaya? Sige. Let's call... Sige, Jaira. Ayan. How would you define normal? Or how would you consider yourself as a normal student or person? Sige po. O kahit i-type na lang kung di makasalita. O sige, while waiting for Jaira's answer, sige, I'll call another student. Okay, sige. Let's have IKEA. Sige.
Akin, sir, para sa akin yung normal, sir. Parang yun yung usual na nakikita natin sa isang tao. Parang yun yung kunyari, sir, sa isang tao, parang yun yung standard na parang nakikita natin. Parang ganun, sir.
Okay, so yun yung normal. So, tama. Kasi yun yung madalas nating nakikita. Let's take for example. Normal, kunwari na lang, makikita, pag student ka, kunwari lang nung pre-COVID era or pre-pandemic era, 'di ba? Normal sa isang student na papasok sa school nang naka-uniform. Right? So that's the norm. Pag di ka naka-uniform, talagang pansinin ka, 'di ba? So ganon, yun yung normal. Ano nga ba yung normal? Sige. Normal came from the word norms. Okay? Normal is an adjective, 'di ba? Ano nga ba yung norms? When you follow the norm, that you are being normal. Okay? Norms are a fundamental concept in social sciences. Why? Because there are the most defined as rules or expectations that are socially enforced. Hindi siya law, hindi siya batas to the point that you need to follow, but it is an expectation, or it is a standard that since a lot of people, since socially yun yung standard, we need to follow that. Katulad ng norms can be prescriptive or prescriptive. Okay? It can be positive or it could be negative. Bakit kaya kapag nagte-test tayo, supposedly bawal mandaya? Or dapat maging honest? Kasi nga, most of the students should be honest during exam. Even though that the teachers would not tell them to do or to not cheat, di ba? Kunwari, sa isang classroom, you have quiz, considered na yon, bawal talaga mandaya. Kasi yun yung na-set ng na standard. We should not cheat during exam. Okay. Nagiging norms lang naman yung cheating kasi nga kunwari sa section sa isang section, maraming gumagawa ng cheating. So parang dahil nga parang okay lang rin pala kasi yung halos lahat ng classmate ko nagdadaya, o ako din. So nagiging norms na siya doon sa certain section na yon. So ganun siya. Okay? Dahil nga maraming gumagawa noon, yun yung nagiging basis to compare. Okay? Kaya kaya dati, ang curriculum yung curriculum namin dati before nag-K to 12, ang tawag doon is norm reference. Bakit? Kasi nirarang kami nung sa PNS dati, nirarang kami dati accordingly to our average. And then the highest 10 students would become our top 10 aside from the extracurricular that we need to imply with. Okay? Ganun yung nangyari sa amin dati. Kaya pag awarding, pag graduation, 10 lang yung may medal sa academics. Ganon. Ganon din sa mga board exam. Okay? Top 10 lang din yung kinukuha na may recognition. Pag nakapasa, pasado ka, average ka. Ganon. Ngayon class, sa inyo kasi criterion reference na siya. Kaya kung mapapansin niyo, possible yung isang buong section with honors. 'Di ba? That is possible. Kaya nga pangit din actually si norm reference kasi comparean siya. Relative siya. Hindi siya absolute. Kino-compare mo kasi yung isang bagay sa isa pang bagay. Yun nga siya. Okay? Don't worry, next meeting, yun yung magiging topic, the application of the normal distribution. Okay? So yun po. Ngayon, we will talk about the normal probability distribution, its introduction, and the graph with it. Okay, so now the first lesson for our normal distribution is the normal curve. By the way, class, for your information, the normal curve is the graph of our normal distribution. Okay, so what is a normal distribution first? The normal distribution is also called the Gaussian distribution. It is to honor its proponent, Carl Friedrich Gauss. Okay, he is a mathematician, a German mathematician, and a physicist. So he has an expertise to math and to physics. Okay, so the normal or the Gaussian distribution as was first described by Carl Friedrich Gauss in 1809 in the context of measurement errors in astronomy. So doon unang ginamit si normal curve, si normal distribution. Pero as they implied this distribution, it was applied extensively in statistics and probability kasi ang ganda ng gamit niya sa statistics and probability, and one of which is our IQ scores distribution. Doon talaga mas nakilala si normal distribution. Okay, which is more prominent to social studies. Okay, so yan po. So this is our normal curve. Ito na ititawag normal curve. Normal distribution, pero pag graph, normal curve siya. Ayan. Okay. So we have 6 properties of a standard normal. The standard normal distribution nga, when we graph, is the standard normal curve. So ano nga ba yung properties ng isang standard normal curve? Number 1, the curve of a distribution is bell-shaped. So hugis bell siya. As you can see in the figure before, this slide. So ayan, mukha siyang kampana. Ayan po. Next is, it is symmetrical. When we say symmetrical, ano ibig sabihin nun? Sige nga. Ano ibig sabihin ng symmetrical? Anyone from the class? Yes po?
Pantay po or equal yung both sides.
Okay, so when we divide a figure accordingly, so we can we will have 2 equal parts. So that is symmetrical. Okay. So when we divide this table, ayan, ayan siya. Pag hinati natin yan sa gitna, okay, that we have 2 equal parts. So this part is similar to this part. Okay, or congruent. Okay? So yan po. So saan siya symmetrical? Okay, saan siya symmetrical? So symmetrical po siya with respect to the y-axis. Okay, this is the y-axis. Yan po. Okay? So yan. Kasi di ba negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. May x-axis dyan. Ay, so may y-axis dyan. Usually class, hindi lang dinodrawing. Kasi nga, tawag dito, hindi kasi tawag dito, nakalimutan ko na. Naka-standard yung line. Okay? Pero supposedly, dapat may y-axis dyan. Kasi ito ay mu. Okay? Sige, mamaya discuss ko. Ayan po. Next is the 3 measures of central tendency are found in the center. Therefore, they are equal. By the way, as I've mentioned on the first week and even in the second week, what are the central tendencies that we have? Naalala pa ba? Ano yung mga central tendencies? O ano to? Ano yan? Ano to, class? Hala, nakalimutan na to? Ano to? Yung mu. Ano yung mu? Yung mean, di ba? Ayan. O what are the other 2 central tendencies? Sa grade 7
Median
tinuro to. Ayun, we have the median and the mode. Okay. In a normal distribution, mean, median, and mode are all equal in the center. Doon sa y-axis mismo. Okay? So yun siya. What else? Do not forget kasi important yan. Okay. The standard deviation of a distribution determine the width of the curve. Okay. So, kung mapapansin nyo class, sa ibaba po ay merong mga sigma. Wala siyang squared. Okay? Sigma. Kasi ang unit po ng x-axis natin is standard deviation. So, dahil mean yung gitna, ang layo nito dito from dito is 1 standard deviation away from the mean. Tapos dito, mu plus 2 standard deviation away from the mean. Okay? Yung mean yung center, yan siya. Tapos dadagdagan natin ng standard deviation. Diba? Yung standard deviation ay siya yung nagde-determine kung gaano ka-scatter yung scores as well as the variance, right? So, yun. Ngayon, class, paano kinukuha si standard deviation? Sige nga. Paano kinukuha ang standard deviation? Yes po.
I-square po yung variance.
Okay, very good. Ayan. Ito lahat ng sinasabi ko, class, halos tinuro ko na rin last meeting. So, kaya nga siya sigma lang kasi siya ay, di ba, standard deviation ng sigma. Kasi saan siya nanggaling? Sa sigma squared. Di ba? Ang sigma squared is variance. So, to able to get the standard deviation, simply square root the variance. Kaya meron tayong standard deviation. Okay? So what else? So the curve is asymptotic to the baseline. Ayan, sa GenMath to, yung word na asymptotic. When we say asymptotic, yung violet, yung normal curve, should not touch the x-axis. Mukha lang siyang dikit dito, class. Ito sa mga points na magkabilaan. Kasi nga, padikit na siya ng padikit doon sa black line, yung sa x-axis. Pero, kung tutuusin, if we are about to zoom that in, hindi talaga siya dudugtong. Okay? Yun po. Hindi siya dudugtong. Yun siya. Okay? Basta asymptotic yan siya. And lastly, the area under the curve is 1. So kapag kinuha natin yung area under the curve, ibig sabihin yung buong ilalim ng normal curve, from here, lahat yan, yung loob, yan nga yun, hanggang dito. Kapag hinanap natin yung area nitong buo, ayan, ilan ang area? 1. 1 yung area niyan. Ngayon, class, question. Di ba ang sabi kanina, symmetric daw yung ating normal curve with respect to the y-axis or with respect to the center. So, just in case nahatiin ko kaya si normal distribution, what is the area of this part lang? Ilan ang area ng part lang na ito? Ilan yung area nitong part na to? Hala.
2.5.
Okay. Sige, ulitin ko ha. Ilan na nga yung area ng buong normal curve?
1.
1. So, ilan yung kalahati?
0.5.
So, 0.5 or 1/2. Okay? Tandaan nyo yun, class, kasi kailangan natin siya mamaya when we are about to solve the areas under the normal curve. Okay? So, I hope that you remind all of these properties. Ayan. So,
Sir,
do you have question? Yes.
sir, pwede po pabalik din, sir.
Okay. Yes po. Ayan. Do you have any question?
Okay na po, sir.
Okay.
Sige.
Okay, ulitin ko, gagamitin natin yung concept ng mga properties ha. Okay, so do you have any question with all of the properties? So we have 6. Malinaw po ba? Okay, so I guess you have, okay, so wala. Okay, so we will now go to the areas under the normal curve. So areas under the standard normal curve can be found using the table that I uploaded earlier in the Google Classroom. So these areas are regions under the normal curve. So magsosolve na tayo ng areas under the normal curve. And that is important because that is the application of our normal distribution then. Okay, that would be necessary to learn the topics that we will be discussed next meeting. Kaya nga hinati ko siya into 2 kasi importante talaga siyang malaman. Okay? Ayan po. So areas under the normal curve. So find the areas between 0 and 1.54. Ayan. So wait lang ha. Lipat tayo ng slide. Ay, sorry. Ayan. Joke lang. Simula ba yun dito? Ayan, sorry. Kaya pa ako nagsasalita, naka-off pala mic ko. Buti nakita nyo. Ayan. So, ayan po. As you can see, class, this is how to find the areas in the normal curve. This is important kasi may application siya next meeting. Ayan. As I am saying kanina na nakamute pala yung mic ko. Ayan, sorry. May tinatawag tayong z-score. Okay? The z-score, ayan, is, ayan, yung z-score natin is or has something to do with the area under the normal curve. So, ba't natin kailangan hanapin yung area under the normal curve? That is important in our statistics. Okay? Kasi, kunwari, ang score ninyo is in between that area. Anong connotation nun? Okay? So, yun. Anyway, dito lang muna tayo sa sa actual solving, sa kanyang application. So, paano hanapin sa yung area using a z-score? So, dito, ang z niya is equal to 1.54. Ibig sabihin, yan ang z-score. Yung corresponding area niya, yun na yung hahanapin natin doon sa table. Ayan. So, since kanina nakamute ako, nag-drawing pala ako kanina habang nagsasalita, ayan, ang hahanapin natin, class, is yung area between 0 and 1.54. So, ito yung 0. Diba? Dito banda yung 0. Dito yung 1.54. So, yung hahanapin nating area is itong part na to. Okay? So, paano siya hanapin? Pag in between 0, class, makinig, this is important. Pag in between 0 and another z-score siya, class, madali lang yung gagawin natin. All we have to do is to find that using the table of values that I uploaded in the Google Classroom. O, ito yon. Okay. Ito na yung standards between 0 and the z. Ayan. So, ano yung ating z-score? That is 1.54. Paano siya hahanapin? First thing, class, dito sa itong sa column na to, kung napapansin nyo, class, di ba may 0.0, 0.1, yan, 2, 3, and 4. Hanapin nyo dyan yung first two numbers. That is 1.5. 1.54, di ba? Yan yung 1.5. Next thing naman, punta kayo sa 0.4. Hanapin nyo yung values na kung saan tatama si 1.5 and 1.5 and 0.04. Okay, so saan yon? So ito yon, di ba? O ito. So the value of 1.54 is ito. Ito yon. So we have 0.4382. So balik tayo doon, natandaan yung number, 0.4382. Ayan. So 0.4382. So yan po. Yan na agad yung answer. Bakit? Kasi, class, yung mga values doon sa table is yung area ng z-score and 0 in between them. Okay? So, yun yung mga areas ng z-score or areas between z-score and 0. So, pag may nakita kayo, find the area between 0 and 1.54, hanapin nyo na agad yung isa pang number. Wag nyo na hanapin yung 0. Okay? Hanapin nyo agad yung isang number, tapos kung ano yung value doon, yun na yung kukunin. Nakuha po? Hello? Nakuha po ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sige, proceed tayo. Next is, same example din, pero may may problem tayo dito. Find the area between z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 1 or negative 1.64. Ano yung mapapansin nyo sa given natin? Anong mapapansin sa given, class?
May negative, sir.
Okay, negative. So this is the question. So dito natin ilalagay yung negative 1.64. Tama? May question ako, class. Kapag ba nilagay ko dito yung negative 1.64, di ba dyan siya, at naglagay ako dito kunwari ng positive 1.64, pareho ba yung distance nitong positive na 1.64 to 0 at saka nung negative 1.64 to 0? Pareho ba yung distance nila? 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 Pareho
Yes
Yes, sir.
po.
Okay, yes. Why yes? Kasi yun yung purpose ng ating absolute value. The absolute value will determine how far does a certain number, regardless of its sign, from 0. So si negative 1.64 is pareho ang layo sa 1.64 kapag i-compare na sila from their distance to 0. Okay? So yun po. Kaya wala kayong makikitang negative number doon sa ating table. Lahat po naka-positive. Okay? So ang hinahanap natin dito is yung area between 1.64 or area between negative 1.64 and 0. So ito yon. Okay? Yan yon. Yan, kulayin natin para clear. Okay, so yan na siya, di ba? Ngayon class, hanapin natin yung value ng 1.64. Ayan, punta tayo sa table. Hanapin natin yung 1.6, ito yon. And yung 0.4, ito yon. So ano yung intersection nila? 1.64. So ito, 1.6, ayan, and 0.064, ito. So the answer is 0.4495. Balik na naman tayo dito. So yung area, ayan, wait lang. So yung area ng may z-score na negative 1.64 and 0 is 0. Ano ngayon? 4495, tama ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 4495. So yan siya. Ngayon class, ano yung sign ng area natin? Positive or negative?
Negative, sir.
Sure? How sure you are na negative ang area natin? O sige, ganito. Kunin ko yung yung survey ninyo ha. Anyway, hindi niyo makikita yung answer ng classmate ninyo kasi yung chat natin, ayan, yung chat natin is naka-host only as of now. Ayan, hindi kayo pwede mag-chat sa mga classmate ninyo. Okay, so ang area ba natin is positive or negative? O sige, I'll be giving you 30 seconds to type your answer kung positive ba siya or negative. Ayan, so timer starts now. Sige nga, paki-chat yung answers. Sige, o sige, last 15 seconds. Okay, 10, 9. Mukhang may, mukhang may discussion na. Okay, may nag-decide dito, may question mark. Positive. Ayan. Okay, sige, time's up. Okay, the correct answer is positive class. Saka nakakita ng area ng negative. 'Di ba? Positive lagi yon. Okay? Despite the fact that our z-score is negative, the area would always be positive. The distance, kaya nga di ba sinasabi ko kanina, may absolute value. Kasi ang hinahanap natin lang naman is yung distance from negative 1.64 and 0, which is negative 1.64 din. Di ba? The question is, ano ngayon yung magiging area? The area is, ayan, area. Ang area could only be non-negative number. Diba? Diba kahit naman nung high school kayo, may nakita na ba kayong area na negative? Anyway, sa physics meron talaga to denote na bumabalik. Kasi di ba ganito? Sa science, kinoconsider yung negative na distance. Ang ibig sabihin ng negative na distance is bumalik na yung object. Kunwari, kapag ang object ay papuntang north, 'di ba? Kapag ang answer sa huli ng problem ay negative, ibig sabihin papuntang south na siya, bumalik siya. Okay? Pero sa math, wala talaga. Okay? Siya po ay positive. Okay po? So, yan po. So, positive lagi yung answer. Despite the fact na negative yung z-score natin. Kasi class, ayan, naka-shade pa rin naman siya. Kahit sa calculus, di ba minsan naghahanap kayo ng area sa calculus, tapos negative na part na. Anyway, di ako sure. Pero yon. I mean, di ko sure na-discuss nyo na siya. Ay, wala pa pala. Basical pa lang pala kayo ngayon. Mga dulo-dulo pa yon. Yon. I mean, yung area is always positive. Okay po? So, ito siya class, kapag hinahanap class, yung z-score in between 0, hinahanap yung area with z-scores between 0 and ng isa pang z-score, kung may 0 na siya naka-partner, naka-tandem, kung ano yung value doon sa table, yun na yun agad. Nakuha po ako? Ayan. 'Di ba? Ito na agad yung number. Wala na tayong ginawa agad. Basta 0 yung isa. Clear po?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Next po. Ito level 1 pa lang to. May level 4 tayo. Okay. So ito. Find the area to the right of Z is equal to 1.56. Ano yung Z-score natin? So we have 1.56. So ito yon. This is 1.56. O, nasaan yung right ng Z is equal to 1.56? Ito bang A or ito bang B? Saan yung right?
B.
Yung right is itong B. Tama? Ay, sorry. Ayan, yan yung B. Itong B, di ba? Ayan, yan yung B. Yan yung hahanapin natin, class. Tandaan na, yan yung hahanapin. Okay? Ay, wait lang. Hindi kasi pala ako sa PowerPoint nagsulat. Okay. So, yung hahanapin natin, class, is, kung dito yung 156, itong part na to. Okay? So, hanapin natin yung value ng 1.56. Okay. Hanapin natin yung value ng 1.56. Okay? So, saan dyan yung value ng 1.56? So, 1.5, ito. 0.06, ito. So, 1.56, ito siya. Okay? So, we have 4406. Yan. Tandaan nyo ha. 4406. So, we have 0.4406. Question class, is this the answer? Ito na ba yung answer agad? Hello? O, hindi para. Bakit kaya? Ba't hindi pa ito yung answer? Anyone who would like to speak in the microphone? Ba't hindi pa ito? Sige, Ain, bakit hindi ito yung answer? Kasi, ay, chinat na lang. Ay, wala daw siyang mic. O, anyway, sige, Jero, bakit hindi pa ito yung answer?
Sir, ano po kasi, kapag magiging iba po yung distance nila sa left pati sa right. Kasi po yung 0.4406, yung distance niya sa area from the right. Pero kapag po titingnan natin sa left, kapag 0.4406 yung nilagay natin, kulang po siya. So, bali hindi pa po yung final answer.
Okay. Ayun. Actually, may point si Jero. Pero medyo, medyo malayo lang. Sige, ay, may nag-open ba ng mic? Sige, ayun. Wala pala. Okay, anyway. Yeah, may idea si Jero, pero not exactly that is not actually the exact answer. Hindi pa ito yung final answer. Kasi class, remember, saan natin ito kinuha? Di ba sa table? Remember na lahat ng area na kinukuha natin sa table is the area between the z-score itself. Ito yung area between 1.56 and 0. So yung 0.4406 class is ito yon. Okay? Ito yon yung green part. Eh, ang hinahanap natin is yung red part. O, paano natin siya hahanapin ngayon? Anong properties yung gagamitin natin? O, anong gagawin natin para makuha natin yung red part? Yes, Lorraine.
Sir, minus sa 0.5.
Okay. Yung alin? Ano yung minus ko sa 0.5?
Sir, yung 0.4406.
O, sige, bakit? Bakit natin ima-minus sa 0.5?
Sir, kasi kalahati.
Okay. O, sige, that's correct. Kasi class, di ba, as given in the properties, the whole area under the normal curve is equal to 1. And then, to be followed by the second property, di ko kasi masabing word, ayan, to follow the second property that the normal curve is symmetric. So if we divide the normal curve in its center, the area of each region is equal to 0.5 or to 1/2. Now, to obtain the red part, yung shaded area na red, ayan, para makuha po natin yung area na yan, kailangan nating i-divide kailangan nating i-minus yung buong kalahati doon sa part na in between 0 and 1.56 para makuha natin yung area to the right of 1.56. Nakuha? So, to find the area to the right of Z, which is 1.56, that is 0.5 minus the area from from 0 to 1.56, which is 0.4406. The difference is the area to the right, which is ilan? 0. Ilan? Sige nga. Paki-calcu, paki-chat yung answer. Ilan? O, ready nyo yung calculator ninyo. Yes po.
0.0594 po.
Okay, 0.0594.
94.
Okay, so this is the correct answer. Okay, so this is the area under, or this is the area to the right of our Z, which is 1.56. Malinaw po ba?
Yes po.
Okay, kaya nga katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, we need to graph. We need, not really to graph, we need to illustrate. Ayan, you need to draw the figure para mas maintindihan natin kung ano nga ba yung kukunin. 'Di ba? Ayan. Remember class, uulitin ko ng uulitin, itong mga values na nandito sa ating table is yung area from 0 to Z. Okay? O, pwede rin dito sa kabila. Yan, pag dito yung Z ninyo. Okay po? Ayun na, may drawing na dyan, from 0 to Z. Okay? Dito sa latest example natin, hindi from 0 to Z yung hinahanap, kundi yung right ng Z. Ayan. Kaya minus natin sa 0.5 kasi ito yung kalahati ng ating normal curve. And para makuha natin yung dulo na part, ima-minus natin yung ating area between 0 and 1.56 para makuha natin yung area ng right ng Z, which is 1.56. Okay po? So yan. Yan po ha. Clear tayo ha. Okay. Next example tayo. Tatalunin ko yung example number 4 and number 5 para medyo related yung questions natin. Okay. Dito naman is example number 6. Find the area to the left of Z, which is negative 1.52. Okay. Before that, we need to graph first our, or we need to illustrate first our given. So let's assume that this is where negative 1.52 is found. Ayan, kasi gitna ng negative 1 and negative 2. And then let's shade the area na hinahanap. That would be the area to the left of the z-score given, which is negative 1.52. Ayan siya. Ngayon, class, we will go to the chart or to the table. We will find the value of z is equal to negative 1.52. Okay, so what is the value of negative 1.52? That is, yan, 0.4357. 0.4357. Ano na nga to, class? Yung area ng z is equal to negative 1.52. Ngayon, class, sige, I'll be giving you 2 minutes to find the area na hinahanap. Find the area of the shaded region. Find the area to the left of z is equal to negative 1.52. And then if you have your answers, please chat that on our chat box, or please type your answers and send that in our chat box. Okay, so timer starts now. Okay, let's check. O sige, check na tayo. Ayan. O habang nagta-type pa ng iba yung answers. O sige, kunin natin na. Class, the area between negative 1.52 and 0 is equal to 0.4357. O katulad ng sinabi ko, class, yung mga area na kinukuha natin sa table is yun yung area ng ating z-score. Ayan, yung area ng ating z-score. And ng ating 0. Ayan, ito yon. Ngayon, class, ang kailangan natin is similar dun sa example number 3. Okay, kukunin natin yung negative 1.52. So, anong gagawin natin? So, ang gagawin natin is, yun nga, since tignan natin yung graph, ano yung na-covered, class? Na-covered yung kalahati ng ating normal curve. Kasi asymmetric sila and 1 ang buong area, so 0.5 yung area ng kalahati. Ngayon, since hindi natin kailangan yung green part, ayan, yung green part kasi is yung area ng ang area between negative 1.52 and 0. So that is 0.4357. Subtract that, that would be the area to the left of z is equal to negative 1.52. And the difference and the final answer is 0.0, tama ba? 0.0643. Tama ba? Ayan. 0.0643. Okay, so this is the answer. And ayun, maraming nakatama. So congratulations. You know how to find the answer na. Ayan. So, sino may question? Period in class. Ayan. Sino may question po? Meron? May question po? Ay, Princess Hazel, may question po? Naka-open mic mo?
Sorry sir, napindot
Ay,
ko po.
okay. Sige lang. Alam may question. Sige, mukhang wala naman. Okay. So if none, ayan. Ay, meron? Baka meron ha? Ayan. Sige. Proceed tayo. This is level 2. Ayan. Yung level 3, eto na. Medyo madali lang naman yung level 3 actually, class. Mas madali nga ito kaysa dun sa ginawa natin yung minus-minus. Okay, ito. Balik tayo sa example number 4. Hindi natin ito nagawa. Okay. Find the area to the right of negative 1.8. O, hanapin muna natin si negative 1.8. Sana ba yun? Okay. So, what is the area between 0 and negative 1.8? Ayan. Ito yon, yung 1.8 plus 0.00. So, this is 46, 41. Ayan. So, balik tayo dun sa presentation. So, meron tayong ang area ng z is equal to negative 1.8 is 0.4641. Ngayon, class, ano yan? Saan yung banda? O, ito-drawing muna natin. O, we will use the illustration. Ayan. So, ang negative 1.8, let's assume na dito siya banda. Negative 1.8. Diba? Ang sabi ko kanina, yun ay yung area between nito. Ito, di ba yun? Between 0 and ng z. So, yung kinuha natin 46, 41 class, ito yon. Tama? Ayan na siya. So, question class. Ito na ba yung final answer? Kasi
No, sir.
right daw nung nung negative 1.8. So, saan yung right ng negative 1.8 na yan?
Included na rin po.
Okay. So, pati yung kabila. So, hindi lang ito class yung right ng 1.8. Ito pa hanggang dun yan sa dulo. Okay. So, ayan. So, alam na natin yung value ng negative 1.8, di ba? Alam na natin yung value ng negative 1.8 hanggang 0. Hanggang dito, alam na natin. Ngayon, class, ano yung area from here, dito sa 0, pa right niya? Ano yung area niya kaya? Ano kaya, class, no? From 0 papunta dun sa papunta dun sa right niya. Ano yung area?
1, sir.
0.5.
Okay. 0.5. Bakit 0.5? Kasi kalahati, di ba? Kalahati siya, di ba? Tama? Kalahati siya ng ating normal distribution or ng normal curve. So 0.5. Ngayon, class, paano natin kukunin yung buong area to the right of negative 1.8?
Sir, addition po.
Okay, very good. I-add natin yung area from the z-score to 0 hanggang yung isang region, yung kabila, yung buong kalahati. Okay, kasi ito buong half ng normal curve plus yung distance nitong 0 na to. Wait lang, ayan. Yung distance nitong 0 na to, papunta doon sa 1.8 dito. So that would be 0.4641, the area between negative 1.8 or between negative 1.8 and 0 plus 0.5, which is the area from 0 onwards, paakyat. So what's the area to the right of z is equal to negative 1.8? That would become 0.9641. Ayan, very good. Nakuha. So, may question po?
Wala po.
Okay. O sige. Next example, kayo na yung gagawa. Okay. Find the area to the left naman. O ito, to the left of 2.32. O sige, hanapin muna natin yung value ng 2.32. Tulungan ko kayo. Kasi, di ba, yung iba sa inyo walang devices. So, hindi nila alam kung paano magkuha. Pero class, if you have some time, kung kaya nyo i-print po yung itong standard normal table, meron niya sa Google Classroom, sinan ko kanina, paki-print para madalian kayo. Or kung mayaman kayo, yun, pwede nyo rin picturean, tapos tignan nyo sa isang device. Or kung magaling kayo, magaling. Kung kaya nyo naman, i-memorize nyo po. Di awag. Mahirap yun. Abutin kayo ng grade 12, hindi pa memorize. Tapos na yung stat. Ayan. So, wait lang. Ayan. So, the value of 2.32 is 48.98. O, balik na tayo dun sa presentation. Yan is 0.4898. O, class, sige. Kayo nang bahala. O, mag-drawing kayo ng normal curve. Yan. Hanapin niyo yung area to the left of Z. Ayan. Tapos, I'll be giving you siguro 2 minutes starting from now. And then, chat your answers in our chat box. Okay? So, time starts now. Ayan, sige. Okay, laban na. Let's check na. Sige. Let's check your answers if your answers are correct. Okay. So, i-graph muna natin yung ating area. Sorry. Yeah, yung ating Z. So, 2.32 is more probably here. This is 2.32. Now, sige, kung dito yung 2.32, saan yung left ng ating 2.32? So, we need to highlight where it is. So, ito yon, di ba? From here, all throughout here, yan yung buo. Pasensya na kung lagpas-lagpas class ha. Pang grade 1 muna yung kulay ko ngayon. Baka nga, mas magaling pa yung grade 1 magkulay sa akin. Ayan, kasi ang hirap sa pen tablet. Anyway, yan yon, yung may shade. Ayan. Yan siya. Yan yung hahanapin. Ngayon po, yung 0.4898, ito yan siya. Okay? Ito yun yung part na to. Yan yun. Okay? Ngayon po, ang kailangan nating class is yung buong green. Okay? So, ano ang area natin? So, anong gagawin natin? So, yung left ng 2.32 is yung 0 between 0 and 2.32 and yung kabilang half. Okay? So, that would be, of course, katulad ng sinabi ko, the area from 0 to 2.32, which is 0.4898, plus the area or the other half of our normal curve, which is 0.5. Kasi half nga, di ba? Symmetrical, tapos sum of all the areas is 1. So 0.4898 plus 0.5 is 9898. Ayan. So, ang daming nakatama. Okay? So yan po. O sa mga nagkamali ng answers, o check nyo kung saan kayo mali. Okay? So ayan. May question po.
Wala po.
Okay. Sige, next na po. Ito, level 4. Anong level na ba to? Level... Ayan. So, ito naman. Ito yung medyo mahirap class. Kasi, meron tayong dalawang case. Okay? Cases. Meron tayong dalawang cases. Una is, ayan. Find the area between z is equal to negative 1.52 and z is equal to negative 2.5. Bale, given yung dalawang z-scores, hahanapin natin yung gitna nila. Okay? The first case is that pareho yung sign. Parehong negative or parehong positive. Okay? So we have negative 1.52. So dito yon, negative 1.52 ito. And ano yung isa? Negative 2.5. Negative 2.5. Now we will find the value of negative 1.52 and 2.5. O sige, hanapin natin. O saan dyan yung negative 1.52? Ayan, nasaan yung negative 1.52 dyan? So, kung tama ako or kung tama kayo, ang value is ito, 0.4357. Okay? And yung 2.5 natin is ito, 0.4938. Okay? So, balik tayo dun sa presentation. So, ang hinahanap nating class is between negative 1.52 and negative 2.5. Ayan. So, ito yun. Isi-shade ko ng red. Ito. Okay? Yung area ng 2.5, which is in, yung area ng 2.5, which is, gagawin kong yellow, okay, ito yon, is ito. From here, papuntang 0. Okay? So, yan siya. Yung hinahanap lang natin yung red, diba? Ayan. Ngayon po, yung area ng 1.52 is from here, papuntang 0 naman. Ayan. So, ito yon. Ayan siya. Diba? Ngayon, class, ano ang gagawin natin para makuha lang natin yung red na part?
Sir?
Yes po.
Sir, ipag-add po yung area ng dalawang given. Yung 0.4357 and 0.4938. Ipag-add po yon, which is magiging 0.9295. Tapos, yung sum po na 0.9295 is subtract po sa 0.5. Tapos yung
Okay.
magiging difference po, yun po yung area, which is
Sige.
0.4295.
Okay. Sige ha. Sulat ko muna yung natin areas. Okay. So kung sino yon? Wait lang, kalimutan ko. Sino sabi ta? Si Lorraine ba yon?
Hailey po.
Hailey. Okay. Sige. Ganito. Kung yun Hailey yung sinasabi mo, wait lang, hindi kasi makasulat. Ayan. Kung yun yung sinasabi mo, Hailey, ipag-a-add natin si 2.5 and negative 1.52, tapos imamayos natin yung sum nun sa 0.5, yung hinahanap natin doon is yung left ng 2.5. Tama? Kasi ang pagkakaintindi ko sa sinabi ni Hailey class is that we need to add the two areas. Tama ba? Itong 2.5, saka itong negative 1.52. And then yung sum nun, which is pag pinag-add ng dalawa, is subtract sa 0.5. Eh di ba parang ito yun? Yung dulo. Right? So ganito yan siya. Sige. May sinabi ni ata si ano dito. Subtract to 0.5. Okay, sige, ganito. Ang gagawin natin class is kunin lang natin yung yung mga areas. Okay? Tignan nyo muna yung area ng negative 2.5 kasi siya yung mas malayo sa mas malayo dun sa 0. Okay? So ito yung area niya. Tapos yung area ni negative 1.52. Anong papansin niyo dun sa area ni 1.52? 'Di ba? Parang part din siya or in-overlap niya yung area ni negative 2.5, 'di ba? Dinaanan niya rin, 'di ba? Tama? So yung area ni, wait lang, hanap ako ng matinong pen na nakikita. Ito. Yung area ni 2.5 is from here to here. Yan yung sinaydan ko. Yung area ni 1.52 is from here only papunta sa 0. Eh, ang hinahanap natin is yung area in between nung dalawang numbers. Tama? So, anong gagawin natin para makuha ko itong black part lang na may red na shade? Ito, yan. So, ang gagawin natin, yes po, sige.
Sir, pag minus po ba yung dalawa, sir?
Sige. So, yun yung gagawin. Okay? Ima-minus natin yung area ng mas malaki doon sa mas maliit. Okay? So, that would be the area of negative 2.5 kasi siya yung mas malayo, which is 0.4938 minus, minus 0.4357. Okay? So, what's the difference? Okay. So, the answer is, type nga.
Sir?
Yes po.
Is it 0.0591?
Okay, the answer is 0.0581. Ayan. So, this is the area of this part only. Okay. So, yun. Ayan. Okay, so sino may question? Nakuha ba yung concept, class? Hello? Ayan. Okay. So, ganito yung class. Tandaan nyo ha, pag parehong negative, ito parehong negative. Okay? Parehong negative yan siya. Kapag parehong negative class and yung z-scores niya is hindi hinanap to the right, hindi rin to the left, between siya, tapos yung isa doon ay hindi 0, ima-minus natin yung dalawa sa isa't isa. Okay? So, yun po. Ito yung, kaya nga siya level 4. Yan siya. Tapos dalawa pa yung cases niya. Okay? So, kung naging positive to class, same thing lang din. Okay? Sige, kunwari gawin nating positive ha. Pero dito na din sa table na to, kunwari positive. So, si 2.5, dito siya. Tapos, si 1.52, dito siya. Ganon din. Ito yung hahanapin. Okay? So, si 2.5, yung area niya is from here, papunta dito sa center. Si 1.52, dito from here, papunta rin sa center. So, may overlapping ulit. Kung saan sila nag-overlap, tanggalin mo yon, which is yung buong area ni 1.52. So, ganito lang din ulit yung gagawin. Okay? So, ganun siya. So, regardless of the sign, basta pareho sila, you need to subtract kapag hindi 0 yung isa. Kapag hinahanap yung area between them. Okay po? Clear po ba? Clear po? Okay. Kahit hindi na ako magbibigay ng positive na example, at least alam niyo na kung paano kunin. Okay. Next po is ito. What if kung magkaiba yung sign? Ayan. Negative 1.35 and negative 1.35 and 2.95. Sige, we will find first the value of these numbers. Okay, ano yung area nila dun sa table? So we have 1.35 and 2.95 ba? Mabilis makalimot, di ba? Ayan, hanapin ko muna. Saan na ba yun? Ayan. So this is 1.35. Ayan. So we have 0.4115 and 2.95. O sige, we'll go deeper pa. Ito na ba yun? Or ito? Ito yun. So we have 0.4984. O ayan nga. Ito pala. Ito. 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ito yun. 4984. Ayan. 4984. Okay. So ito na. Kung nakuha ko na yung values natin. So we have 0.4115 and 0.4984. Ngayon, class, sige, i-shade natin. Okay? Or hanapin natin yung values. Okay? So, saan si negative 1.35? More probably here. Ayan. Tansyahin nyo na lang. Negative 1.35. So, itong red na part, class, yan, from 0 to negative 1.35, yan po yung area niya is yung 0.4115. Okay? Ngayon po, hanapin natin si 2.95, which is more probably here. 2.95. Yung area niya, which is 4984, is from 0 papunta doon kung saan napunta si 2.95. So, yan. So, from here, from dito, papuntang 0 or vice versa. Yan yung area niya. Okay, hindi na ako maglalagay ng yellow. Mukha na siyang Philippine flag. Ayan. So, ngayon, class, hinahanap yung area between the negative 35 na z-score and to our z-score, which is 2.95. So, ano ang gagawin natin para mahanap yung area in between them? Okay, pagsasamahin natin yung dalawang area. Okay, so pag sinabing pinagsama, we will add the areas. So we have 0.4115 plus 0.4984. So the sum is, ayan, 990, carry 1, 9, ayan, point. Okay, the answer or the area between z is equal to negative 1.35 and z is equal to 2.95 is 0.9099. And this is the area between them. Okay po ba? May question po. Okay. So if you have no questions, kasi I will not give further examples anymore. By the way, class, please check your Google Classroom kasi I scanned my book that I am using. Di ba pag nagkaklase ako minsan may mga examples ako, may mga book ako, in-scan ko yung book, pero dito lang sa part na errors under the normal curve pa lang. You can check that para may another reference kayo na book. Okay, mamaya na kayo mag-ingay. Ayan, ingay na naman sila. So, i-run through ko lang yung ginawa sa errors under the normal curve. Okay, kapag in between 0, ano ba yung mga aso ko? Ay, pag in between 0 and a certain z-score, ayan po, the area is, ayan, yun na agad. Wait lang ha. Basta yan siya. I-review muna natin. Kailangan ko muna hampasin ng walis. Ayan. So, yun po. So, yun lang siya. Simply ganun lang siya. So, pag 0 yung isa ay may z-score, o diretso na kayo dun sa table. Okay? Ayan po. Next po is, ayan. So find the area between, ayun din ulit, same example lang. Next is, ayan, pag area to the right, ayan po yung gagawin. Okay? So yan. Next is pag area to the right ulit, ito rin. Ayan. Pero ito ay, what if negative? Okay? Pag area to the left, ito siya, pero positive. Pag area to the left, ito yung gagawin. Wag yun na kasi, ito, sige mamaya na. Nag-react agad eh. Ito yung find, kapag same sign, ito yung gagawin, di ba? Ayan. Pag magkaiba yung sign, tapos mag-given na magkaiba yung z-score. Ngayon class, you don't need to memorize all of the formula. Okay? Instead, we will just you should familiarize on how to draw those distribution. Okay? Dapat alam nyo kung paano siya i-plot or kung paano siya ginawa. Di ba may mga figure tayo kanina? Dapat marunong kayo kung paano nyo siya hahanapin. Okay? So kapag may idea na kayo or may drawing na kayo, mas ma-visualize nyo siya kung paano siya kukunin. Okay? So yun po. Do you have any question pa? Ayan. So while thinking of the question, may nag-message dito kung if I can send daw ba the PowerPoint. Siguro ano na lang, since pareho nyo lang rin naman siya i-view, i-upload ko na lang yung recorded video nyo ngayon. Ayan. Siguro ma-view nyo siya by 6 p.m. kasi i-check pa siya. Ipag-process pa siya ng YouTube. Ayan. So parang same lang din naman. So doon na lang siguro. Okay? Kasi actually we are not allowed to share our PowerPoint. Kasi yun. Basta. Pero the recorded video, pwede naman. So yun po. Okay. Anyway, as I've said earlier, the content of this presentation is quite similar to what I have get in the book. So yung book na yung class, in-scan ko siya. So ayun. Pwede nyo na lang check din doon. So sino pang may question?
Boto na naman.
Sino may question po? Okay, so I guess parang wala na rin ata. Pero sige yun. Ngayon class, I will give you a quick tour of what we are going to do with your activity in the learning activity sheet number 4. Okay, so wait lang ha. I will just go to our Google Classroom. So ay, sana yun? Hindi pala ito. Ito ata. Okay, classwork. Ito. So for your learning activity sheet number 4 class, ayan, as you can see, it is a Google form. Okay? So kapag Google form siya class, nakikita nyo ba? Ayan. So kapag Google form siya class, ibig sabihin, siya ay quiz type. Okay? Siya ay may choices. And mas madali yun kasi may choices. So your activity for your assessment for this week, all you have to do is to what? Is to answer the Google form. Bakit leaning lang pala nilagay ko? Leaning. Anyway, ayan. So we have the learning activity sheet number 4. It is a Google form. Ayan. It has 2 parts. It has true or false. And ayun nga, multiple choice. Okay? You may answer this anytime, any moment until May 10. Okay? So if you think that you are ready to take the test, pwede na kayo mag-start. Total hanggang 5 pa naman talaga yung schedule natin supposedly. Pero kung gusto niyo anytime, basta before May 10. Okay? On or before the deadline, which is May 10, ayan, pwede niyo sagutin. Open lang naman yan siya. By the way, class, your scores will be not released immediately. Okay? Kapag tapos na kayong mag-exam, kapag na-manual check ko na siya isa-isa, bago ko palang i-release yung scores ninyo. Okay? Kasi i-check ko pa kung tama lahat ng answer key ko and what and so ayun. Don't worry, you are allowed, once I've released your scores, you're allowed to check your results. Okay? So, any concerns? Do you have any concerns? Ayan, check ko muna yung sa iba. Baka mali yung spelling ko din. Ay nga, mali nga yung spelling ko. So, yeah. Okay, do you have any concerns?